Welcome to the Texas Truck Channel. I'm Brian, and right here is the return of Mitsubishi to the U.S. market. That's right, it's the 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander. This one's the SEL, which means it's loaded up. That means it comes with the super all-wheel control, something or other, SAWC all-wheel drive. What that really means is a 2.5 liter Nissan-derived four-cylinder paired to a CVT with an on-demand all-wheel drive system. Now, we haven't driven this in the off-road terrains. Actually, we have on a previous shoot prior to today, and it actually does fine. But anything clutch-driven, all-wheel drive, you're gonna feel at home with it. Now, this face is lifted straight off of the Eclipse Cross, or maybe the previous Outlanders. Looks very similar to that. But you do have an interesting nose. You have marker lights up here that mimic the shape of a headlight, but then you look down below, you've got a 3-puck actual headlight housing here, and fog lights down below. It's pretty cool. I don't think it looks bad, and when you get this thing on profile, the roof line's really cool. And little secret to get out, there's actually a Nissan Rogue underneath it. In case you didn't know, Nissan has bought 34% of Mitsubishi, and they have a dominant share of them now. And for the US market, this kind of makes sense because this is a Rogue with a 3rd row. You can't get that on the Rogue. So that's really what Mitsubishi's bringing here. Now you can get lower trims, and you can get it with a 2-liter 4-cylinder instead of a 2.5, and you can get it with 2-wheel drive as well. This one's loaded up. But we're gonna take you around, and one of the first things I'm gonna show you is the rear cargo area. Let's check that out. So coming to the hatch, you've got on-brand looking, you've got, look, the rhombus, I mean, the triangle is back. And look, if you're a DSM kid and you love the Eclipse GST and GSX and the Talons and the Dodge and all the different ones you could do off that platform, this is a fun thing to see again. The Evo was brilliant too. A lot of good things have come from that brand before. Now, buyers don't want those anymore. They want 3-row crossovers. And this is what you get when you take a Rogue and you throw a 3rd row into it. The downside is when you go to put the seat down, well, you gotta take the headrest off first, and that's a manual operation. And then there is actually a cubby to put them in on the side. That's thought out pretty well. You put it down, and now there's no legroom, as you can see. But these front seats do scoot forward, and as long as you don't put humans back here, it works out just fine. All joking aside, if your kids have no legs, they're gonna love this. And if you have to do a quick across town run, that'll work out too. Just don't expect to be comfortable in 3rd row. This is a 3rd row in a pinch. There's a lot of people that think they need one, but don't need it very often. So when you're not using it, you have a huge cargo area, but it is there when it's an absolute emergency, you need to transport humans, you can do that. All that aside, you do have good luxuries. You have a power lift gate in the rear. Much like a lot of brands, you can lock it back here, and you can close the hatch here, just like Audis would do today, or BMWs, or anybody else. They do have that figured out. Now, you'll notice there is no hitch down here, and that's because they don't want you towing with this. So if you're gonna do the bike rack game, you might consider the roof rack, which it does have roof rails up here, or you can do an aftermarket hitch that is not really gonna be serious for towing. You're gonna do accessories. Now, let's do the mid-pack before we go inside to the front. This is the 2nd row. It's got pretty darn good room. And as you can already tell, the diamond stitch leather is really nice. I do like that a lot. The seats do scoot forward and back, and I can comfortably sit by myself. And it's one thing I noticed is there's multiple map holders in the back. That's kind of cool. We don't see that very often. You do have heated seats in the 2nd row and a dedicated HVAC control. So it's actually a 3-zone HVAC, which is cool. So you've got temperature in the 2nd row, and then you've also got duals on up front. That's pretty neat. Now, let's check out the front row where the business happens. Look at that. Look at that steering wheel. Something you do get here that you do not get in the Rogue is you do get a dedicated steering wheel from Mitsubishi. It's a 4-spoke design instead of the T design. We love that. There's a lot of nostalgia coming through that wheel. It's pretty cool. Now, I'm a bigger guy. I get in here and I have no comfort problems whatsoever. I like the steering wheel grip, very nice. It does have paddles for the CVT and all of its fake 8 gears, which is pretty cool. Now, the infotainment is straight out of new Nissan. It is current. It's the latest system, and if you've driven those, it's the same thing here, no changes. You can see, let me show the camera here for the people. This is a loaded out trim, and it has a switch panel from the Rogue, and you can tell there's a lot of blanks here. Makes me wonder how much we're not getting on this side of the fence. Also, you get heated seats, but you do not get climate controlled seats. That's a bit of a bummer in the Texas summers, and these seats are leather, and they get warm in the summertime, so it's nice to have the option to do it in the other models, like the Rogue and others. You do get a Bose system, stereo system, and it's pretty good. No complaints there. It's actually been quite well, and you do have memory seats. We like that a lot. The biggest deal here is that it looks really good. We've had a lot of people talk to us about this and say, man, what is that? I like it. And that's really it. So stay tuned for the full review on this. We will get into dynamics, we'll get into the shop, we'll get technical and tell you how it drives, which is actually pretty interesting. See you later. Thanks for watching.